Beautiful. The sense of leverage. Do this. Yes. What's your name? Don't let me push it down here. So, come here. If somebody jump on my back, she's able to handle no problem. Because the leverage is bigger than the muscle. And then, if you put it in the right position, you cannot break it. So it's important to show the movement with the principal ideas of leverage. That's why I feel like so important for me is to bring those movements back in a comprehensive explanation of the movements for people to start to teach better and the students become more effective in the results, in the self-defense aspect. Thank you very much. So every position has this element of being connected, being more leveled than you know, even simple movements. Come back to me, please. Like I grab you here. Huh? And what you're going to do here? Yes, you lift me up, please. Good. The same thing. And the only thing I'm going to do is not going to pull you back. I'm just going to stay hard here. Do the same thing and throw me. Throw me. See, I'm not pulling you back. Can you feel that? Mm-hmm. I'm just stay here like a bouncer in grab. Just here. So throw me again. Lift me up. It's hard. You see how hard it is? Mm-hmm. Grab it, please. Yeah, you pull me already too much. Oh, sorry. So just grab. Yes. If I do what you did, that's what I felt. You do base, but the base is not connected to me, so I cannot throw, I cannot do nothing. Just don't let me go forward, yes? So my base, instead being just this, again, hold it, is here. Hold it tight, off. My base is here, on the hip, off. So as you pull me here, I will put my hip back and lift. So as you pull, I'm sitting on you. So my hip is the connective point on you. It's not like this. So you're sitting on me like I'm a cow. Yes. Stick your hip back on me. Yeah, again. As you flex down, sit back. Yeah. No, not down. Back. Yes, yeah, that's it. Again, please. No, wrong. Yes, beautiful. So this little invisible thing can be a completely different for women, or a fragile person who has no level. You can do anyway because you're strong. But somebody who doesn't have the same strength, we have to feel connected with those little elements. We are in the middle of the action, you know?
So pushing into them, and sometimes,
yes,
like you were with me, instead of just straight down, you're pushing in to make them move.
Yes. Yeah, because no matter what the position is, for example, how you define base for you? Why do you feel like being in base for you? Base.
Safe, stable.
Yes, but I guess the power you don't know where it's coming from. So base has to be something complete. You have any idea of what's your best base?
Facing where I see a danger.
Yes. Okay, good. But I'm talking about the base. I'm not talking about position. So base is once we have the contact. Once I grab you. Once I grab you. Once I grab you. You have to find base. Okay, good. Base. See, here, keep your base. You have no base here. So base, flex your knees, put your hip back in the face. Not much. So your hands hanging between your knees. Yes. So here, you in base everywhere. You're in a comfortable position. Put your hip towards me. Yes, sir. The base coming from this. Base. From here, you go one way, another, whatever you want to do. But base is not like this. So having base gives you a chance to move everywhere. And from that point, you create either a throw or escape or a movement. Because what's the most important thing for you Like, I grab here. What the movement you want to do here for you? Good. One more time, please. You have the position, you have the base, but you're not connected. So do it again. Oh. You cannot do it. See how now? Wait. Come back again. Grab me. Doesn't work if I just have my base. Start to shake me around. Here, no good. So what happens for me here, first important thing is connect. Shake me around. I'm okay with it off. I can do whatever I want to do. So when I grab you, step back a little bit and connect here. Yes. So here, we follow. Now you can do your movement and you don't have to walk to me. Please. Don't walk. Just do the movement. Bring the arm to you. Yeah, make me feel pain here. More you walk towards me, please. Walk. Break my arm. It's harder. You understand? So you want to stay and then do it. Yes, and bring my elbow to, yes, okay, good. So, we're talking here about things people that saw before, whatever. But the importance of being, my friend, please, for us, is crucial. Be comfortable against a punch, for example. How are you doing? So hands up. This is a basic. Just put your hand. Yes. So all this is crucial for you. If you have to have this idea of blocking. If you don't have, you're in problem, right? What's the strikes you can do on me? Yes, but with your hand like this, with no gloves, you can break your finger if you punch my hand. So with no hands, you can give the scala like this, a direct punch. Sideways, yes. You can do this or this. Because you can go as high as you can, you're not going to break your hand. Front like this. Elbows. Elbow hip here, please. Yes. Yes. From the bottom. Yes. Yes. So you have knees, you have elbows, you have headbutt. So for us in self-defense, we have to know the arsenal of striking without gloves. So, and we have to practice this a little bit. Put in a bag and punch in bags, get the distance, move out and in. So we cannot be in a box of berimbolos and hold sleeves and thinking you do jiu-jitsu. Today, the road who make you a great competitor in jiu-jitsu make you very weak in self-defense, make you out of the self-defense concept. In our core, since I understand myself as a human being and I start to putting myself on the gi and going to, I always saw self-defense classes going on all the way, all day, every day, always in the academy. And the practicals of passing guards, sweeps, everything, coming as a recreational aspect to build up the skills of competing. Right? So you cannot forget the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, our Jiu-Jitsu is done with self-defense core program. If you don't have comfortable to escape from a choke, from a punch, from a headlock, you don't know Jiu-Jitsu at all. You're just thinking, you know competition. In those days, competition is very crooked because it brings rules which people start to modify Jiu-Jitsu based on the natural aspect of being a competitor. You don't want to cheat, but you want to make it easier for yourself. You see even MMA today, the beauty of the MMA in the beginning is diminishing now because people now, they fight MMA in a format which is a game. So if they make a better first round, they know they already win one round. So the game is based on, I'm going to keep the same. If they win 2 rounds in a match, they don't want to even win in the end. They just want to survive and don't lose. So it's very much into the rules. It's not about putting everything you have and go for the kill. No. They want to be strategic. They wait 10 seconds before the fight, they go for a throw, boom, they win the round because they make a throw. So it becomes very strategical. It's not exactly commit to win. I mean, how you can say in a 5-round match, I win the first, I win the second, I win the third, I win the fourth. In the 5th round, the guy mount on me and start to hit me. I get bounced. I turn back, the guy choked me out, and I'm saved by the bell. And then the guy won. Because 4 rounds before that, he was already winning. So that's completely unrealistic. It's unfair. It just doesn't make sense, but that's part of the game. So it's something, as a jiu-jitsu practitioners, you have to concern about being comfortable in unpredictable situations. My friend, please. How are you doing? Very good. Lay down. What's your name? Scott. So, Scott, you know everything about pushes and pulls. But what are you gonna do if I start to punch you? Do whatever, just relax. It's not a big power. Okay. Alright. Okay, so you get distance. But what you gonna do to really, you have any offense? You have any punishment for me? Because the fact I wanna punch you, or hurt you, or bring hard for you, you have to survive, but you also have to bring, because you're in a better position than me to punish me. Mm-hmm. So, let's start again slow. Slap my face. I will do a cut off, right? Big punch or whatever. So from here, I can hurt. Hurt here. This is a strike. Even though I hold you here, I will be in charge here to not only protect myself, but hurt you. So I'm thinking here to hurt you. I'm thinking here to survive from you. And if you make a mistake here, I go to your back. Stand up, I'm holding you. Yeah. So lay down, please. So as you put your knee inside, no, immediately, again, start over. The knee coming straight to my shoulder. Yes, good. Turn sideways a little bit. Good. Wait. This is striking. This is gonna hurt me if do it again. If I bend, you can sweep me. Yes. Do it again. Can go for the Americana? No. Let it go here and go there. Yes. And bring it here. Boom. Right? And if I'm here, kind of protect. Yes, here. Okay. This foot gonna be here. Yes. No, stop. Put your weight on your elbow as you pull. No, come up on your elbow. Yes. Put your elbow down. Like. Yes. Put back a little bit. Good. Yes. Start over, just 2. So from here, push my knee. Yes, good. Can let go the top hand and grab my, yes. Come on top now. Beautiful. So, if you're not comfortable, if you're not familiar, if you're not playing that, you're not gonna have it. If you're just thinking about berimbolos, so if the guy first punch, you're gonna be confused. I can see you open-minded, you're not being get caught by surprise. So you already find yourself comfortable. But even though it's a lot to be trained, it's a lot to be developed in that sense, for you to become an expert. To don't let people hurt you. Please, one more time. So in that particular distance, you're already good. I'm here a little closer. Yes, but I'm close, keep going, do whatever. I'm close, not too close. I'm close in the way the guys do today. So they're keeping a distance here, head butt here. So that's the distance you go from and scare. What you do here, please. So in this position, you're not that happy. You get confused there because it's a middle position here. I'm not too close. I'm still able to punch, to headbutt, to stay here. And you're not able to bring in the leverage between us, right? Change, please. So, a little closer. Yes. Put a little more weight on me. Yes. So, I cannot push you, but I can immediately come here. Keep going. From here, I still can hit you. I have a lot of options here. Lay down. So if you cannot push the guy, you just move him to the side. Bring your, stop. Bring your knee inside your hand. Yes. The other leg over my butt. No. Just the leg. Forget this. The leg over. Yes. A little more weight on your knee. Yes. Stop. This hand goes under my arm. Punch the sky. No. From under. Punch the sky. Forget my arm. Just yes and track. Good. I'm in trouble here. So, the reason I'm saying that is a lot of situations, for example, open guard. Let's go from here. So, your open guard, go. It's not only to protect, coming with over here. My open guard is open, but it's not like this. It's like this. So if you put your hand on my face, I have my senses here of changing positions and using my legs to strike, to control in a much proper way than just having an open guard, which is defined by gi. So it's almost like I want to bring in discomfort to you regardless if I have crossed legs or not. My weight is... So here I feel good. You don't have the same angles and leverage to hit me. If you here, you can. So here, touch my face. Well, it's different. Things feels like invisible, but I'm connected to you all the time. And if we don't get in the one day in the week, all right, guys, lay down. The guy on top gonna just try to put the hands on the face. The guy on the bottom try to skip and stay comfortable under fire. Doesn't have to be a fight, but you have to get exposed to that situation. If not, feels like when you engage in something, oh my God, what, he wants to punch me. Oh my God, what happened? I mean, that's real. And then, that's why I feel like the opportunity for us, starting today, with the new rules for tournaments, with the overexposure of self-defense, will bring back an element in Jiu-Jitsu which gonna favor not only us, we already addicted to, but to people who are not even exposed yet, and giving them a sense of, wow, I'm not a fighter, but if the guy try, I have a chance. And that can make people really change the way they think and they behave, and they become a much better person. So, again, the most important thing, the most important people who needs more Jiu-Jitsu, they're not enrolled yet. We have to really transform Jiu-Jitsu as a practice which enlighten people in their senses. They learn about their timing, they learn about their leverage, they learn about their power, their blocks, and that's increased them as a person. Right? Take a look. You know, I cannot not talking about breathing, because, you know, as we know, I've been using breathing all my life. I mean, we all breathe for life. But breathing is the most important field we have. We can spend a week without food. We can spend a couple of days without water. But 5 minutes without breathing, you die. And breathing is such an important thing Actually, we working in a program based on a military thing, which the first important thing when you're under stress is breathe and control your emotions. And more effective you do that, more effective you're gonna do to bring back to your reason and then do whatever you have to do, either a fight, either save somebody or rescue, whatever you have to do. Breathing, of course, we all do since we're born, since we get a slap on the butt. And then we, but you're breathing here. If you don't learn how to breathe, you're going to spend the whole life breathing with part of your lungs. Just the, give a full breath. But the full breath is just a third of your breath. When you breathe, here, full in. Now I'm going to do the right stuff. Full in. The wrong one, the right one. It's 2 times more air. Why is that? Because when you move the diaphragm, which is here, there's no air in the belly. But as you do this, you bring air to here. And the lungs are here. The lungs are not here. I mean, it's a part of the lung here. But this breathing is emotional. Builds emotion. I start to become chill. Just what it's claustrophobic, is emotional, it's short. Give you feelings, bad feelings, because this is too much close to the heart. You should breathe with your diaphragm. Singers do that, yogas do that, divers do that, good jiu-jitsu fighters do that, some tennis players, they do that. Because breathing, movement, and full capacity of air is important for us to understand. So you have to have a full capacity of your lungs, first important thing. So you start to use the diaphragmatic breathing. The diaphragm is a muscle who goes horizontal like this, and the strength is like, when I do this, I push my diaphragm down, so it feels like it's air in the belly. It's nothing in the belly, it's just guts. But that's the opposite. I'm bringing the diaphragm up. So I've been studying and training my diaphragm for life. Since 16 years old, when I learned, I start to develop that movement, which is inhale, exhale, and then hyperventilation. Or sometimes I'm stressed. Let's make this peaceful in 3 minutes. For this, for 3 minutes, there's no stress in my mind can hold, because I have to focus on my body, my breathing, my rhythm. So I can be stressed as hell. 5 minutes later, I'm calm, ready to sleep. When I was already previous a fight, I get in the stadium 5 hours before. I sleep for 3 hours, and then wake up, warm up, put myself 130 heartbeats, 140 heartbeats a minute to break the sweat, like 20 minutes before the fight. And then 10 minutes of relaxation, bring my heartbeat to 6 heartbeats a minute. So I stay toof, 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 toof. So when I go to the fight, I'm hot, but my heart is very slow. When I engage, I press the gas. There's no way for the guy to cheat or make me waste more energy than him. So we press the gas together. I make my moves. He has to respond. So, but he's already started the fight with 90, 95. So when he's 120, I'm 90. When he's 140, I'm 100. So when he gets 170, 108, when he needs to regroup, I already in the best of me. So I still 160, 140. And ready to go. So when he needs to, oh man, as the time for me to make the kill, I have done many fights which I quickly submit the guy because he's just get confused and I don't give him a break. So it's not only techniques of fighting, it's also the breathing, the emotional. You want to say something?
How do you breathe during the fight?
I'm sorry, the breathing, oh yes. So breathing is the best. The more you understand your breathing function, more you can fix your body. If you're stressed, if you're tired, if you're cold in the surfing, like you start to get hot again. Whatever you need, breathing is the best fast option. So this is dead, this is live. What the difference between the muscle, live or dead, is contraction. We can define liveness by contraction. Heart, the liver, whatever. Contraction is good. So our breathing system works in the opposite way that we think. You think when you're in the fight, hey man, I'm tired. That's the opposite of what's supposed to be. Because the inhale is the dead motion. You don't want to, I need, that's the opposite of what's supposed to do. More air you need, more you have to clean the air. So, oh man, oh, you have to take it off. When you relax, so as you practice, your concern is not to bring the air in. If you tomorrow start to practice, your concern is going to be put the gas out in your own rhythm. And you're going to start to feel the capacity you have to overcome tiredness or the lightness in your brain. Because when you get tired, you're not only dysfunctional in your body, but your brain gets stupid, gets lazy. Because you start to make poor decisions. It's not enough oxygen for everything. When you do hyperventilation, you can be like acid latex. Sometimes you get tired, you cannot move your arms anymore. It's too much cramp. But your brain is still functioning perfectly because it's enough blood to feed the brain. So I highly recommend you guys to learn how to breathe. Use the diaphragm to action, to train to make log. Whatever you do, breathing will help you immensely. I guarantee you 100%. Any question about this? What a great student. Yeah?
Just curious, is there any video that you can watch? Is there any video in YouTube or something like of you teaching this that you can watch and try the techniques?
Yes. I mean, I learned this with Orlando Cani, who's a master in Brazil, who taught me, and also taught Álvaro Romano from Ginástica Natural, same guy. And this guy's super guy. I mean, he's a great athlete all his life, and he incorporates movement and breathing. Because yoga, for example, is a great technique, but it's very static. You get a posture and you do it. You start to basically understand the uncomfortable and make comfortable. So it's almost a spiritual thing. It's a method of meditation and movement. The ginástica natural and the bioginástica, what Orlando calls, is a more dynamic action. So you have to flow with the move what you need. You need to relax, you have a breathing to relax. You need, like, that's why the tennis players, they ta, because they exhale, and they already recover for the next and give speed. When you exhale, you get speed. Like, for example, I want to bring somebody, lift it up and throw him on the other side of the mat. For that, I cannot just be relaxed. I have to. And normally, if you don't do better, you do. If you know better, you do choo, 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 choo. I still full length. I still able to keep pushing the car uphill, but I still breathing. So I never empty out. Let's go, guys. Push, push, keep, and I can go forever with my hard lungs and still breathing, because one thing is keep your lungs full. The other thing is have to breathe. If you keep your lungs full, and the time you have to breathe, you have to, you lost the momentum. So by learning how to breathe, you can stretch your sprint, you can stretch your power, your maximum power ability. You can speed up your relaxation. You can endure in anything you want through the breathing. So breathing is a huge element for our, life. And Jiu-Jitsu is also a huge element for our life in general. It's not about fighting. It's about how you process the emotions. How you able to be capable to, no, but I have a leverage here. Yes, sir, you're right, but you're not that right because this and that. So as you become a martial artist, you fight with your words, you fight with your spirit, you win without fighting, you're capable to control emotions, have weight distribution in different angles, or physical, spiritual, and mental aspects. So we have to really reinvent Jiu-Jitsu as a whole. I'm very, very happy to bring that knowledge and that ideas for you guys to bring back to your schools. And more we're going to be more connected with the self-defense aspect of Jiu-Jitsu, which really changed people's lives. And of course, we're going to still competing, because with good rules, nothing can be more effective than competition. The reason the competition becomes so ugly is nobody says anything about the rules. And people start to adjust for their comfortable. They start to, if I don't cheating, let me just hold and stall here. So they start to play safe, because if you have to do 12 fights in a day, you don't want to put everything you got in the first fight. So the most expert the competitor is, more like he's cheating he is, more he's grabbing, holding, tangling, and you feel like, I can fight, I can do this, you feel like you're trapped, you're not fighting. But the guy's a champion, he knows better, he wants to save energy and do better. So with those new rules for tournaments, we're going to bring back to the dynamic action we need in Jiu-Jitsu to become related to real life situations. Jiu-Jitsu, you cannot, come over here. The last fight I saw with Galvão and Leandro Low, the fight was all like this. I hold it here for you to don't pass. You want to pass, but it's just here. So if I stay here, you're not going to do nothing. You cannot progress. I cannot. So nobody wants anything. I just look in the referee and say, I have two advantages, so I'm still winning. And not going. So nothing happens. If the referee say, hey, you have to let go or you're going to be disqualified, and then everything has to happen, I have to move myself, everything's going to be dynamic. So what's going to happen from now on is a new rules which are going to really change the perspective. The guys fight that they're not like, because they're addicted to the problem. But my critical, my idea is to facilitate and to orient the white belts and the blue belts who coming, and they are misleading to compete and instead learning self-defense. And I also want to promote for the black belts the idea of bringing to your school comprehensive programs in order to have much more students and make a much bigger service for the community. Any comment, anything I can help you with? Yes.
So we saw there's a lot of instructors here and even future instructors. If you've got instructors now, like you've said, that don't teach the self-defense program, it's not their fault because they never learned it.
Yeah.
If they want to go back tomorrow and start to make this change, what do you recommend they do?
I recommend will be, first of all, without me showing what is not bad, because everyone has a different aspect of self-defense. What I'm planning to do is get the Bible of Master Helio Gracie and putting from movement 1 to the A to Z, all the explanation of the movements, the demonstration of how it's done, and the escalation to add stress in each position. For people not only learn the basic, but learning the basic with special hot sauce, you know? And then after that, the second goal will be the official JJGF curriculum. Not only to display the movements, but to offer the curriculum of classes, like the fundamental classes for three fundamentals. So it will be warm-up, movement 1, movement 2, movement 3, drills, whatever, because something which is very important for us here is to understand, in average, in 95% of the academies, even for students with less than 3 months old, at one point, the student will be facing not a training partner, but an opponent. Okay, you lay down, you try to escape, you try to pass the guy, whatever. So at that particular point, becomes a confrontation, which sometimes the students are not ready to do. And that makes the guys who are not designed for that quit. So my advice is for every guy who gets introduced to Jiu-Jitsu has to stay at least 1 year without facing an opponent. He have to have a training partner. He have to go and learn the mechanics. He have to be sweating. He have to feel the physicality of the sport. But he cannot feel intimidated. He cannot feel pain. He cannot get injured. Because it's too early for them to get those exposed to that. They will quit. So in terms of business, it's very bad. In terms of service and provide to the guy what he really needs, it's bad too. So we have to create a comprehensive program to favor 90%, 100% of the people. And then, after the guys feel like, okay, what next? The next can be either you still stick with the self-defense, or you can start to become more competitor if you like it. And then he can have a new life as a competitor. But not everybody here is designed to be competitive. But everybody here needs self-defense in your life. That's for sure, to make you feel good. So today the idea was not exactly bringing techniques or secrets or the differential between my techniques and other techniques. That's not exactly the seminar intent. The intent is exactly bringing the curiosity, bringing the idea, the intentional aspect of progress in martial arts. As a self-defense jiu-jitsu, as being entitled to do the whole spectrum and become a better person, a better human being, much stronger, more confident, more balanced. Right? What time is it, bro? 7:15?
Yeah.
Okay. So, any question? Yes, sir.
A lot of different academies have different approaches in competition self-defense. There's an argument about, what a blue belt, what a timeline, what's their. Do you have a curriculum that will specify, what a blue belt should be or what is the time requirement?
Yeah, that's a great question, because before the belts was about 20 years of jiu-jitsu in Brazil. At least 20 years. 1925 was the first school. 1967 was the federation, was the first federation open. So it's about 40 years of jiu-jitsu before that. Before that, the students are always white belts. And when you become a instructor, you become a light blue belt. And when you become professor, a dark blue belt. So you can have students with 10 years of practice, white belt still, and a new student who just arrived, white belt. And then at one point things start to become popular, and my dad decided to create a federation. And that federation started by creating weight divisions, creating the belt system, and creating the point system for competition. And of course, that was the best approach, because in a school you can see who is the blue belt, who is the purple belt, who is the brown belt, based on who is winning. You cannot see a white belt coming and make a hard game with a purple belt. Something wrong. Either the white belt has to be purple or the purple has to be white. But something wrong in that kind of equilibrium. In my school, doesn't have. The white belt's going to have his butt kicked for a while, and then he start to become hard with the others. Eventually, he's going to be playing with the blue belts. Eventually, he's going to be in the level of blue belts, get a blue belt. That's the old school promotion. With this said, the growth of Jiu-Jitsu in U.S., in the world, was coming through tournaments, through display of effectiveness as fighters. So the training aspect, the engagement, the role becomes the Jiu-Jitsu. The signification of Jiu-Jitsu is how good you are on the floor. And the competition start to become bigger and bigger and so on. But we forgot the self-defense aspect. As you become a student at the Gracie Academy, no matter if it was before my time or even when I was teaching there up to 89, as you get a student, you enroll as a student. First, the major part of the students were private students, not group class. So the guy come in, he's introduced to Jiu-Jitsu in a self-defense base. This is what you do here, what you do there. And the guy starts to become comfortable with deflections, with move your head, protect your neck, get base, how to throw, how to protect a punch, and goes on and on. So by the time he gets a blue belt, he's comfortable with self-defense, period. Everyone in any level in the school has to be comfortable with self-defense. And then approaches the color belts in terms of competition. So the basic, the fundamental is self-defense. If you're a black belt, for example, and you don't know self-defense, you basically don't know Jiu-Jitsu. You know competition aspect of Jiu-Jitsu. You know, a lot of people, they get the black belt and they start to counting degrees. Soon they get the black belt, they start to mark 3 years from now I'm going to get a degree and all that. In reality, when you get a black belt from tournaments, you get a white bar. And you're going to stick like that forever, only if you decide to be an instructor. And then you go to your instructor and say, Master, I want to be an instructor. So, and then you get a red belt, a red bar in your black belt. And then when you become full professor, you get 2 white bars in the border. And from that point on, the degrees start to be counted. Something I have to regulate is make sure everybody who has a degree has to be certified in self-defense. Because if they don't, they just know how to train in Jiu-Jitsu, to practice, like an amateur tournament competitor. Can be a great competitor, can have great solutions for fighting. But he don't have the whole picture, the whole scenario to fulfill the needs of a weak person or bringing self-defense to the table. So with that discrepancy, we need to unite the ideas of, first, make sure all the black belts become comfortable with self-defense. In order to do that, I have to bring those elements, those techniques available for everybody. And second, make them understand, in terms of business, in terms of service, the beginning of self-defense is always the profitable and the right way to go to feed everyone. And then the belts are just a way to regulate, but everything falls in place when everybody knows self-defense. You know? So that's pretty much where now our mission is to restore our culture. Any question? Yes, my friend.
When did you think the jiu-jitsu competition scene kind of took that turn, where things weren't, promoting self-defense?
No, I think once we introduce through the UFC, through Royce, and then Jiu-Jitsu start to become famous, people start to getting, oh wow, I want to train in Jiu-Jitsu. And maybe 10 out of 10 guys who coming from Brazil in that wave, because a lot of guys coming to teach, some guys coming with a brown belt and the airplane, they get a black belt here. They arrive with a black belt. So I don't know what's the problem. But when they come to teach competition skills because that's what they're comfortable with. And the competition becomes more famous, more popular, more attractive to the actual self-defense business, which always been there in some schools like a Gracie Academy, or they always have self-defense, my academy, others, but the major, 95% doesn't have. And they keep practicing Jiu-Jitsu as it was become just a sport. And now things multiply, becomes like, and it's a big, huge growth. But represents only a percentage of what's supposed to grow if everybody who's enrolled himself in the academy be happy and stick there, because now people go in and say, oh, it's hard to me, it's too hard, and they left. So the idea is to everybody who come in sticks for at least a year, and they're gonna live there completely comfortable with what they learned. So that's pretty much the process. Sir?
How would you, curriculum-based self-defense jiu-jitsu address the flexibility in terms of the individuality and creativity of each student that are different? Yes. The differences between, like a 300-pound man between a 100-pound woman, that sort of thing.
That's why the concepts of connection, concepts of base, they have to, you can teach like in a group, but the people will feel individually. And a guy with a heavier guy, he's gonna have a center of gravity and base and a different approach than a weaker guy. Sometimes a skinnier guy has to have the base but keep moving. He cannot be static. So the seeking for a base, the seeking for connection, the seek for the leverage, the seeking for the will lead them to their own ways. Like you said, they're all different animals. A long skinny guy, a short stocky. So people will define their game. Jiu-Jitsu is very flexible in a way it's very complex in a way to adapt.
But there's universal principles.
Yes, but the universal principles, they have to be always preserved. Yes. Because in the end you start to compensate with power. You start to compensate with personal abilities, which diminish the chance for the weaker one.
Yes. Thank you.
Any question, guys? Yes, my friend. Yeah, come over here, brother. So, yes, the idea of gi and no gi is crucial to combine both. With gi, you have 10 more options than without gi. You have 3 submissions without gi, you have 15 with gi. Because you have more grips, more control, so it's important to have this arsenal. You have to have, but it's also very important to understand sometimes the weight distribution. So some positions you rely on the gi. Some positions you don't have the gi. So it's less options. But even though you have less options, you have to know exactly how to work with that lack of options. In other words, the body mechanics is the same. Like, come over here, please. On my back? Yeah, just on the back here, yes. Just holding there and like that. Okay. So, if I want to put in a guard, okay, so keep it here. So, I will put in a guard right here. Right? So get it back again. Agree to it. So if you want to avoid me to put in a guard, see, avoid, don't let me put in a guard. idea here is on your knee. So if I'm counting with this, for example, put me in a guard. Let's suppose you have more strength than me. Boom, you're already in a guard, right? Stand over. My idea is not having you put me in a guard. Oh, my weight is on me, so we're going to start you fighting immediately. Start over. Put me in a guard. So I'm very, very relaxed. So the idea for me was not about on your knees again. Was not about the grip or the control. It was about the center of gravity, because now I'm relaxed, but my weight is not on my knees anymore. Put me in the guard. Oh. Put me in the guard again. Oh. So wherever you go, you leave me. So it's important for me to have the understanding of how I should have my without gi movements 100% perfect. But that doesn't mean I have to forget all the collar chokes and all the grips I have, because in reality, a lot of things can happen with a jacket. So I want to learn 100. But the 3 I can use without the gi has to be very perfect. So it's always a detail of weight distribution, because if you here, instead focus on that grip, put your chest on me, yes. So whatever, yes, completely different from me. Doesn't matter if you grab me and you stick heavy here on the floor. See, you want to see, it's no good. See, stop. But if you lighter here, heavy on me, you start to, yes. So I feel like I'm late all the time. Can you feel the difference? Yes. So the no gi is very important, because give you like the minimum of options. Like you have only 3 chokes, 1 headlock, 1, 2, 3 foot locks, but has to be trained. So I always to combine both.
So that's an important part of self-defense.
Yes, very important.
So beginners too, just starting out, should train no gi?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I think so. But again, the training has to be a way. It's different than you have in a beginner's class. A part where you're gonna say, okay guys, let's go. That's an opponent against opponent. And that will definitely hurt somebody, definitely gonna make somebody feel like, wow, man, I love the guy, but he hurt me today. I'm not gonna go back there tomorrow. So for beginners, with gi or without gi, has to be a training partner. You're gonna hold and escape. You're gonna hold and go. When he moves, you move. So they drill, but they fight. The second round, like after 1 year, if they get injured, they say, oh, I get injured, but I'm gonna fix, come back. They're already being beaten by the bug. They're already accustomed to come. So, but for a 2 month, 3 months, 2 months old guy, student, if he get hurt, he never come back. So it's important to present the jiu-jitsu in a comprehensive way, and also in a way they can practice without competing with each other. And in the end of the class, they, oh, it was great, man, great training. But they don't hurt, they don't feel, so it was just a drill. You can pick the pace at the end and make everybody feel exhausted at the end. So they feel fit, they feel happy, they feel they training, they practice well, and they not feel no rejection, no hurts, no injuries. And that's will assure your academy to grow like immensely, you know? Yes. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. Yes, bro.
I wanted to ask you about like the connection and how to develop that. Maybe if there's like some advice you can give on developing connection, because like me as a smaller grappler, like I'm stuck in side control a lot, something like that. So I need to be sensitive to all my escapes. Is there some way to develop that connecting and disconnecting from somebody?
Yes, I mean, connection is not only your opponent. Connection is how you approach the movement itself. You know, for example, lay down here. So the upa, right? Hold it, hold it. Hold my feet. Yes. Hold tight. And you do the upa now and throw me over. Okay, one more time, please. So now, I'm going to be available the same way. The only thing I'm going to do now is protect upa base. I'm not going to do double attack. I'm not going to defend technically. I'm just going to base. So throw me again. Hold my hand. Doesn't have to be explosive, just go. Here, you're stuck right here. Start over. You mount on me, please. Before you mount, this is a very powerful move. Even a child can make you put your hands on the floor. It's a very powerful hip movement. But if you do what you did this, and then you roll that way, so it's an L. You did this and did this. So mount on me. No. Simple. And you're going to spread your base, okay, with your hand. So look what you did. Don't fall. Yes, that's what happened. So you roll the guy, yes, over the shoulder. Okay, now I go slow motion, you don't fall. Okay, base again. Slow motion, don't fall. What's the difference? The difference was, I have to keep that energy going in the direction I want to go. If I don't move my head, the position starts right here, I have to change. If you put your hand, I'm dead in the water. So the first important thing before the upa is connect your movement at one movement. So as I'm going now, I don't stop and I can keep going forever here in the same direction. Lay down. So as you grab me, relax, take your head out of the way and roll me over here, not here. So straight up, slow. Beautiful, beautiful. Again. Hold tight. Take your head out. Go over. Beautiful again. Don't move your head, go. This is you before. You understand? So now go straight up. Beautiful. So, John. So the idea, again, what made the difference was not the connection with me. What made the difference is the understanding of connecting your body in one position and creating not just a movement and a movement, but it's a whole movement. Start from here, and I start lifting. So everything is connected as one piece. It's like one big snake. It's not broken. So in Jiu-Jitsu, every position has the same aspect. Either you connect with your opponent, either you have to find yourself in balance and connection to be strong enough. If you're not able to do it, if you're not connected yourself, if you don't do a good upa, if you don't do a good turn on your knees, if you don't have how to maximize your strength, you're dead in the water. And that's a constant research. That's why I make my jiu-jitsu different than my brothers. Because I always putting myself with two objectives. Represent the sport in the highest level. If somebody has to go, I was the first one to go. So no time limits, no weight division, no rules. So keeping that in perspective, you have to really open your mind and surrender to God and be able to feel like comfortable in hell. And based on that compromise, I have to find myself invisible elements. So I learned the upa not with the details I just taught you. I learned the upa like everybody else learned. And a few times I felt like, wow, I stuck here. So I started to put in my mind, focus and developing better connection, better leverage. So a lot of things I learned, but a lot of things I developed. And if you have in your sense oh, I feel like I'm struggling too much. You're gonna find ways to struggle less and get better results. You know, it's all about how you think. Because if you think you're gonna resolve your matters with strength, you're deadly wrong. Because some guy can be stronger than you, especially in life. It's not a weight division, purple belt. The guy can be a black belt with 120 kilos. So you have to know how to survive. So endure a 1 hour fight with a guy double your size. Just survive is already a victory for you. And that's the way martial arts applies. You know, it's not about winning. It's about make the best of you, the best results you can do. And that's why connections never ends, you know, and understanding of the invisible aspect of jiu-jitsu. And if you add breathing, if you add, you know, positive thoughts in your mind, if you add good nutrition, you in business, you know, you up to going the best you can be. You know, you cannot be better than this if you're working your physical, your spiritual, and your mental aspect to be a winner, you know, to conquer the universe. That's the goal for all of us. Yes, sir.
I had a question about like stand-up. How much of stand-up do you think should be like implemented or part of your weekly training? Or...
In the self-defense program, in the introduction to jiu-jitsu, maybe 70%, 60 to 70%, because you learn better standing up. The things you do laying down, one there is sleep, you know, and that's it. The only two. So it's better for you to understand, to get the picture. When I come into you and said I want to put, so you just put you lay down and start to explaining things on the ground. It's already weird because you don't think, you don't fight. On the ground is weird for everybody. So introduction has to be standing up. If I want to slap you, if I want to hold. So you start to become comfortable with levers and positions, and start to become comfortable with deflections, with grabs, with move, and then escaping from the mount, how to pass a guard, how to escape from cross side, how to get arm lock, how to choke, how to keep the back position, and goes like that. But proportionally, more standing up in the beginning. Yes. Yes, my friend. What do you need? What do you need to know? Come over here. Lay down. Lay down on your back. Bend your knees. Lay down, relax. Put one hand on your belly, another hand on your chest. Okay? So inhale, exhale. Yeah, keep doing this. It doesn't have to go full. Just go normal breathing. Inhale, exhale. Go. Keep going. I'm going to talk, but you keep doing, all right? Keep going. You're moving here. You're going to stop moving here, moving here. Bring the air here, yes. And shh. Shh. When you exhale, shh, make a contract, shh, because the diaphragm is pulled by shh. So inhale, all the air here. And shh, yes. Oh, bring the air to the belly, yes. No, not here, just here. And the shh. Don't be worried, nothing. It's just naturally you try to bring in the air to the belly button. Yeah, and with that shh. Yes. So right now you start to understand the movement of the diaphragm. So you start to first develop that understanding. You know, before you sleep, you spend some time moving the diaphragm. Shh. In, out. Yes, in, out. Shh. Make sure that at the end you always bring it here. Go in. That's it. Out. You don't want to bring air here, right? Cool. So once you become comfortable with that understanding, once you become comfortable with that, you start sitting up and start hyperventilating. You know, that's the first important thing. Learn how to move the diaphragm. Inhale doesn't matter. If I swing, if I fighting, if I'm exhausted, that's anywhere. The airways have to go comfortably, no matter what. The important is to move the diaphragm. Yes?
When you are hyperventilating, do you inhale?
Yes, always exhale, inhale coming after. Is all, yeah, it's like a foley, like. So as you start to doing this, and you start to having control of your diaphragm, you're gonna start to using motion and breathing. Because motion, you cannot block in your breathing because you move. Sometimes you have to get a bag. So you have to practice strength with breathing. You have to practice deflection with breathing. You have to practice speed with breathing, like tennis does or boxing. Because you do it. If you do, and then so breathing, bringing motion and breathing together, and then you're gonna feel like you become an intelligent machine. You don't have to think. Right now, I don't have to think what kind of breathing I have to do. I feel like I'm stressed. I immediately, oh man, what am I gonna do? And then, boom, release the pressure, the heartbeat's coming calm again, no gut feeling. You have to start to understand, because you resolve your matters when you control this part. This is on the guts is your emotions, your hara.